let us understand the concept of method overloading. So basically, method overloading is something where within one class, you have same method names and there are some changes. So these changes can be number of parameters, that is your parameters are different. Type of the parameters means their data are different or their return types are different. Let us see how. In my class A, see, I'm only having one class because I'm just checking out that the overloading over here is done in one class. So over here, I'm having 4 functions or 4 methods, all is having the same name. Now, when I'm creating an object A1 of my A class and calling a function display, my compiler gets confused as to which display has to be called. So basically my compiler checks the number of arguments that are passed inside the brackets or inside the function. So over here you can see that when a1.display is called, it checks that there are no arguments present in this method. So it will call out this method and your result will be printed as no parameters are present. In the second line, a1.display10, it will check that yes, there is only one argument and it is of integer data type. It will search that I also have a function which has just one argument and it is of integer data type. So the answer that will be printed will be the value of variable a is equals to 10. Now next, it will check that there are 2 variables 10 and 20, both are of integer data type. So it will check out that this function or this method is having 2 variables and both are of integer data type. So the result that will be printed will be the value of variable a and b is 10, 20. Correct? Now, again it calls a function display 40 and 40. It checks that I'm having 2 variables, both are of integer data type. It will go over here and it will check. Now my compiler will be confused that do I have to call this method or do I have to call this method? So now when my compiler is stuck with the option that the number of parameters are same and the type of parameters are also same, it checks the return value. So now the return, so in this statement, there has to be something that needs to be returned because I'm printing some of the value over here. So it will check that this function is having a return type and it will return the value of a and b. So the value will be printed as into 40, that is 1600. So this is my method overloading where my compiler sees that if there is a method having same method name, then it checks the number of arguments. If the number of arguments are same, it checks the data type of those arguments. If the data types of arguments is also same, it also checks the return type. Next, let us see the concept of method overriding. Till now we have seen method overloading is done in one class. Now, there is this problem of same functions or same method in 2 classes and the classes are having inheritance between them, then the concept is called as function overriding. Let us see how. Over here you can see there is a class A that is having a method display and also you are having a class B that is inheriting my class A. This class B is also having a method display. Now, when in my main method I'm using or I'm creating an object of my class B and using this object, I'm calling this function b.display. Let us make a diagram of both the classes. Let's suppose I'm having this A class. I'm not discussing the other parameters because I feel that now you are able to call the constructor and assign the values by yourself. So I can say that my I and j values are present in my A constructor. Then there is my one constructor and a function display that is having no arguments. Similarly, in my class B, I'm having a variable k, then there is a constructor of B class and a method display. And my B class is inheriting my A class, means that I'm also having the method of my A class display, and I'm also able to access my variables I and j of A class. So now when my display method is called using this object of B, compiler always calls the function of the class with which object it is being called. So if it is called using the object of B class, then the display method of my B class will be calculated or will be evaluated, and it will not check the display method of the inherited class or my parent class. So now this is the problem. Like if a user wants to access the method of A class, how is it possible? So now let us see how we can resolve this problem. Over here you can see I'm having a A class and a B class that is inheriting my A class. My A class is having a display function, and now my B class is also having a display function. Let us see that in my main method, I have created an object of B class, and using this B class object, I'm calling a display function. So by default, the display function of my B class will be printed. Now, what I have done is a small modification, that I have used the super keyword, and using the super keyword and dot function, I'm calling a display method of my parent class. So basically what will be printed? The statement of the parent class will be printed first using the super keyword. So the answer will be the value of variable I and j is 10 and 20. Then I'm printing the value of my display function, that is of my class B, which is the value of sum of all the variable in class A and B, and C is I plus j plus k, which will get you answer as 10 plus 20 plus 30 is equals to 60. Now again, this is very problematic, that we have to write a super keyword every time that we have to access a parent class method. To solve this problem of calling the overridden method inside the child class every time, we are using the concept of reference variable. Let us see how this works.